You got it, God. What you know good?
Chill, just sitting there listening to you. I was like, I had to come in and ask a couple questions real quick as far as the
Yeah.
patriarchy and so forth and so on. As far as the matriarchy is concerned from a male's perspective, so the patience, let's say, and watch the patience and stuff that's necessary, because everybody has a different level of understanding and everybody has an opinion and so forth and so on. But from I guess a chief's perspective, and what is the as far, like, first of all, a simple question: what is a lie? And then how to, because everybody seems to have a different definition of it. Now, my definition is your word is your bond. Anything that goes against your word, you say it could become a lie. But then there's a lot of gray areas in there. So how, as far as like,
ain't no gray area.
well, no, right. I know, but some people that
All the lie is, look, lie is knowingly telling somebody false information. That's a lie.
right.
That's what a lie is. It ain't nothing more, nothing less.
So one argument I was having basically was like, or not an argument, just a discussion. It's like, well, nah, what about the dad that tries to, to put his foot forward and does all this stuff, but circumstances and so forth make his promises that he would love to keep turn into, like the promises are broken. So would that be a lie, or
them generational curses?
Okay.
Them generational curses. He's perpetuating generational curses. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man over on the moon. I love you when you coming home, Dad. I don't know when, but we'll get together then. Right. But he always got to go chase the dollar to pay the bills. Humdrum life. On the hamster wheel. His intentions is there, but his resources is limited. So he's sacrificing the time with his child in order to survive. But the child will never understand it as his father intended to do it. But his survival overrode his capability of being able to be as functional a parent as he would have liked to be. Like most of the boys that grow up and want to be fathers, we know at an early age that we want to spend time with our children that our parents didn't have to spend with us because they was doing something. Whatever the fuck they was doing. Some of them was working, some of them was getting high, some of them was locked up. But whatever it is, all of us wanted to be able to be there for our children, but the generational curses and the societal blocks merged together to tear down the families. But this was part of the plan in the beginning anyway. This is what they call renting a royal garment and selling it from the auction block in the Bible.
Because that led me to, it's not necessarily that the father, the person chooses to lie to a person, but it's just, think the way things are, it's become real subtle as far as whether of how'd you put it? It's become real subtle as far as
Well, the problem is nobody's stopping to say, why in the fuck is this shit like that? Why do the father have to try to survive and be taking time away from his children in their well-being and their advancements to the future? When you start asking that question, and then you start looking at the conditions that we've been reared in and the effects that these conditions have, we still suffering from post-traumatic prisoner of war syndrome. Right? They say we were slaves. We was prisoners of war. We was never slaves. We was prisoners of war. They just took what was Big Mama house and made it into a makeshift prison camp. Because we was already fucking there. We was already tilling and working the ground. They just made sure that we didn't have an education. Hey, Tone, they buffering you out. I'm gonna exit you out before it ruin the video, and I'm gonna let somebody else in. Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
I ain't doing good.
What's wrong?
Everything. You tell me.
Listen, when it feel like everything is falling apart, that's labor pains for a new birth. You got to upgrade coming. You got to look for it. But if you get caught in the grief of the struggle, you will miss the upgrade.
Okay.
So the reason why you got to go through the hard shit is so you'll be on a different level on the other side of it. And my mama used to tell me all the time, and this too shall pass.
And you know, deep inside, I know that. I know that. But the physical form of me, it still has like that why.
It's supposed to hurt. Soon as you accept the fact that it's supposed to hurt, it hurt 50% less.
It's supposed to
It's
hurt
supposed to
that
hurt.
he take all 6 of my children from me.
That's definitely supposed to hurt. Now, the underlying factors and the motive for it, those are additional things, right?
Mm,
He ain't just come to the house, pick the kids up, leave, and disappear,
no.
right? There was some haggling going on,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up with the custody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. So at this point, the best thing you can do is take care of you so that you can be in a better position to sway the condition back into your direction. If you fall into self-pity and grief too deep, you miss the upgrade. The upgrade is to rebuild the bond with the family and the children.
Right.
To be able to have a functional communication with their father so y'all not fighting on sight every time y'all talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do the self-work in order for him to notice there's a change in you. You lose your children is a trauma, a mama trauma,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why would Mother Nature allow you to go through that? She wants you to be stronger than you are allowing yourself to be, so she put you through the harshest condition. But the condition is temporary. If you learn the lesson and understand the self-work, the self-love is the first thing. Go take your ass to the spa, get you a body massage to start out with so you can think straight. Because you got bad intentions get trapped in the muscles and it clouds the thinking.
Oh, it's so trapped. I mean, the fucking fireball. I can just blow that bitch. And when I blow, you talking about Cali
But
energy?
but yeah. Right now, your job is to control the chaos.
I don't know how to do that.
Yes, you do. Self-talk. Motivational self-talk. Stop looking for somebody to fix it for you because you have to start with the self,
Okay.
right? We always looking for somebody to come along and take the pain away. The pain is there to teach the lesson so you don't never forget that shit. Now you got to start weighing what's important, right? You can't help nobody if you ain't strong enough to help you. And if you help you first, you're going to be in your best position to be of aid and assistance to anybody you come in contact with. The shadow side is dealing with the pain that you got to go through to learn. If you can't do nothing else, leave your mind open to receive and ask in your heart for the answer.
That's crazy because I feel so disconnected from my heart.
That's because your baby's
I
gone.
feel really, really disconnected from my heart. And so I
Okay,
spent
so
the
now,
last 2 weeks rejuvenating myself, just trying to get my thoughts and everything together and under control. but I still can't connect with my heart in order
That's
to
because
even
it's
move.
blocked with pain. It's pain that's blocking it. Pain is rooted in a fear.
But okay, so then I went and I started to think, Shayna, what is the fear? Like, what exactly am I afraid of? What is the fear that's holding me back?
The fear that's holding you back is you scared you're not gonna get your babies back. That's the fear right there. But you can either actualize it or defeat it. This is your nemesis you face with. When you know in your heart, I'm they mama. And you can take them far away as you want to. That's my heart. And I'm going to always feel that motherfucker beat. When you reconnect back to your children and your mother energy, it's going to allow you the ability to see clearer from a spiritual perspective of how to deal with the situation. Right now, you overtaken with the pain and the grief.
I don't know how to feel.
So, yes, you
I don't
do.
know if I should be angry. I've been silent.
Okay, that's part of your self-talk. Every emotion you feel or think you should feel, ask yourself, is this in the proper context? You're supposed to be hurt. You're supposed to be feeling pain right now. That's in context. So the fact that you're supposed to be feeling pain for what you're going through automatically puts you back in the position of power when you understand it. Now that you understand that you're supposed to be in pain, now you got to go into the self-talk. What is the pain trying to teach me?
To love, have compassion, be patient.
The same things you want is the same things you have to give. The same understanding you want from their daddy is the same understanding you got to give.
Okay.
We want to argue so much about being a parent. Well, we both the parent.
Right.
What's in the best interest of the child? Right? And that's where the unconditional love come in, because once you realize y'all adults and y'all still trying to have a teenage love affair and spat, no, it doesn't work that way. As an adult, you take the responsibility to raise your child competently and to put your little petty trifes with the other parent aside so that you can work in the interest of the child. Some parents don't want you to do that.
Yeah, and it's been hard for me to even try to like reach that level because the type of person that he is. And like I literally like can see the entity that's inside of him. I can see the anger and the spirit that sits on him. But that it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. It's his own personal whatever. So it's hard for me to even connect or try to get with it because I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't have nothing to do with it.
How long was y'all in a relationship?
Since I was 17. It's been, what, 21 years? I was 17, he was 19. He finna be 40, and I'm 37. And we've been married for 14, 13 years with 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never been
You got to go back.
with no
First of all,
man.
okay, so first of all, you got to reconstruct the relationship with a critical analysis. But this is a little more in depth than you're ready to do right now. Right now, you need to be doing the self-work. You need to be grounding yourself to the earth to open up your heart center and using your heart energy to reconnect from the heart with your children. Right? And you need to find out and where you need to mature at in order to make the situation turn around. See, people think that you need to use spells and shit. You don't need to use that shit.
Yeah.
That shit not necessary. You magic already. But if long as you are in a pain and fear state, your magic is restricted as a woman.
I feel it in my back.
In this,
I feel
yeah.
it. I feel it in my back. And
Yeah, you got, and more than just your back too, because I'm feeling different places around the body where you got energy blockages.
my stomach.
You need to get a massage first and foremost as soon as possible to release some of that built up tension so you can even fucking breathe.
Yeah. I definitely do.
Yeah. And while you waiting to get your massage, you need to go put your feet to the dirt. Sit on that ground with your feet on the dirt. Talk to the earth. Rub the grass. Then when you feel that like it's time to get up, go take your hot Epsom salt bath. Put your favorite oil scents in there. And breathe. Pamper your feminine side to soften that hard pain energy so it can ease off of you.
Okay.
Then you can think a little clearer.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Keep me posted on your progress.
I will. Thank you. You know I will. Like I sent you that video the other day. I did not even know them people. I was just invited. But you said something in one of your videos and it triggered me when I got around those people. And I was like, damn, this was what's talking about. I said, this is going to make him so happy. I got to send him this video. And I didn't even...
How did you end up with all those people?
I end up going, having to leave, and I met some other people in a different county, and one of the girls invited me. But I didn't know what she invited me to. I didn't know that it was like a cookout like that. But when I got there, I was like, damn, this is a family reunion. I said, I'm going to be excited to see this. Like, this is exactly what you had just said. Get this family.
I just said it. I just told the sister right before you the same thing. That you right now, that's called a knockback receipt.
Yeah. It sure is. It sure is. And I just sent my cousins one of the pictures that you posted in regards to the Vice Lords and the remembrance, so y'all can remember that Ida B, my grandmother, who guides me, she been here with us. She here right now, guiding us and walking with us. A straight Lord. And I just felt the need to send that to him so he can understand and know that what he in that particular situation is deeper than that.
Yeah. So Big Mama told me to get all of the houses cleaned up. And then the last one is the Vice Lord house, and that's what's being cleaned up now.
Yeah. I'm gonna get these drink waters together. I'm gonna get all these drink waters together. Every last one of these drink waters, they gonna get together. I got it. But I got me first.
That's the part right there. Because once you get to yourself where you can breathe and you can see clear now. When you're going through something, Scorpios like me, we have a tendency to know when we getting ready to go through something, we dip, we go in the hole. But what's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
See, y'all like to take shit head on. Fire to the motherfucking wall.
It's like a fucking, like a Power Ranger. Like if I had a Power Ranger and I had to like morph, I'm gonna morph like a fireball and bitch I blow. And
now you gotta learn to now you gotta learn to control it so that you don't look. When you have the fire energy, you a natural firebender. That means you create hostile situations, hot situations, just by your presence.
I do.
You don't really got to do a lot. That's the same for any of the other fire signs too. Leo and I think it's Sagittarius.
But see, he's a Scorpio 11/11.
Mm-hmm. And the hardest person for Scorpio to get along with in the zodiac is the Aries.
Right.
Here go the crazy part. My mama Aries.
I know. I know. And then I look at
So
the numbers, 1111. I know that's difficult, and it will be a difficult situation for me. I already know that. But I try to work with it.
mm-hmm. Your big mama can help you.
I know.
The problem is you don't offer her no offerings and you don't talk to her.
I know.
Offer her offer. You know what she like. What she used to eat.
Fried chicken, Budweiser, fried fish.
Mm-hmm. Look, eat you some fried chicken and drink you a Budweiser, and that's called tying to a sympathy.
Okay.
And think about her while you drinking that Budweiser and eating that chicken. Just think about her.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna start talking to you. She's gonna tell you everything you need to do to clean yourself up.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. All the other stuff that I've been trying, but I'm gonna try that. Cause she's been coming through. Definitely been coming through.
You just gotta reciprocate the channel. That's how you do it. Tie her to the sympathy.
I don't know how to do that.
I just told you how. While you thinking about her, eating your fried chicken and drinking your Budweiser, you calling her. She's coming to you. Her energy's gonna come, and you might hear her voice as clear as you hear mine. You're gonna be looking around, talking, ain't nobody in the room but me. That sure sound like mama. Just
focus.
It's the simplest ritual to get the maximum effect.
Okay.
Tie into the sympathy. When I drink Pepsi. I drink Pepsi because when I want to tune in to my mama, that's our sympathy.
Okay.
If I really want to get a lot of information or solve a big problem, we used to go fishing when I was a little boy, so I go down on the dock. And whatever it is, when I come back, I got the answer. Mama been told me everything I need to know. You see that little bastard there? That motherfucker ain't no earthly good. You get him the fuck away from you and my other babies. I don't want him nowhere around. And he gone. By the time I get home, he gone. Never to be seen again in these parts. Get the fuck away from here and don't come back. Mama said you can't come, you can't come. Nothing personal. Mm-hmm. But mama ain't told me no lies yet, so fuck what they talking about and fuck who they telling.
Okay.
So use your sympathy, tune into the frequency, right? Some people got different relatives they want to get in tune with. Find out what their favorite was. Some of them like, Uncle John loves you. She always should eat them peanuts. Get your bag of peanuts. Talk about Uncle John and pop them peanuts.
My little cousin.
Uncle John started talking to you.
My little cousin always be talking to me because he used to love pickles. So on Little Rascals, when they say, I love pickles, I love pickles, I love pickles, hey, then I feel him. I feel him. He's around. He talks to me. But I got to sing that song for him. I love pickles, and I got to get some kosher pickles. But, you know, from Chicago, the kosher pickles ain't the same over here in D.C.
Yeah.
So, you know, but, yeah.
In Chicago, they like the pickles with the peppermint stick in it.
Yeah, that hot pickle. That hot pickle. We had that hot pickle and the Chico stick, and that boy, he loved pickles, and that's the only connection that I literally like have with him. And I was singing that song, I love pickles, hey, and it comes clear as day. Just like you told me before, I need to learn my training wheels. And my training wheels was not anything that had to do with those cards or anything. My training wheel was here, more so telepathic, as I always do.
And so when you learn to tie the sympathies, like you just brought up your cousin with the pickles, and I was telling you the same way as how you tune into your mama with the fried chicken and the beer. You learning now to use the telepathy deliberately with intent now. But the intent is not to use telepathy. Your intent is to relate to who you trying to communicate with by simulating something they would do in order to make their energy be able to tune in to your DNA's channel.
That sounds fun, but I'll
And
figure it out.
yeah, so what she gonna do, she give you all of the information to clean up the generational curses.
Okay.
That's what she gonna do.
But it's like it's coming in on both sides, the mother line and the father side.
Yep. That's red line, blue line. And once you get your crown chakra, that's your arc degree. That's when your mother line, left, right brain, abstract, logic can tie into your father brain, left brain, linear logic. When the energy travel between the two, that's called an arc.
Okay.
Right? So the royal arc degree is purple because the mother line is red and the father line is blue.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Mama got all the money and her house is black and gold because of the coal and the gold. Because she used to burn coals in her little wood burning stove.
Her mate name is Cole. her mate name was Cole. Ida B. Cole.
Yeah. Hey, this is about to cut out. I'm gonna come back on. I got to do some more Q&A for the fathers of the patriarchy. I mean, under the matriarchy, so the men know more about their roles. But thank you for coming on. I hope I helped you out and keep me posted on your progress.
Thank you. I sure will.
So when we're talking about Solomon, we look at and break his name down, and we know that in the Latin and sometimes in the Greek, as a conjunction, they use the word "o." So now we have the son that's attached to something. Well, the only thing left is the mind or the man. Now, this is where you get your priest of a mind, because now we're talking about the soul of man and the redemption process. So we're talking about the soul of man in essence when we talk about Solomon. Solomon being the wise one. When you look at what it is when you encounter the God self, you're looking at encountering a higher echelon of knowledge and wisdom. So this is the legend of Solomon. And this is the wisdom that, or the light within man. So you see, they say that Christ in the New Testament was wiser than Solomon of the Old Testament. And the Christ in the New Testament says that the light shineth in the dark, but the dark comprehended not. So what is it speaking of? And it goes back to the garden. So when we look at Solomon, Hyrum, and then there's the three ruffians. Now, when they talk about the three ruffians, we have to find out where do these cats come from and how do they relate to the story of Solomon. Well, I'm not going to go through the whole story in bitter detail because this would be about a 5-hour video. I'm going to try to keep it kind of short so y'all can kind of get the whole idea of how Hyrum is finally raised. But if you want to know who the enemies of Solomon was, go to 1 Kings chapter 10 through 13, and you'll find out who Solomon's enemies was. And they're going to give you the name of 3 men. Now, in order to understand about how Hyrum would be subdued by these 3, you have to go to the story of Daniel. And then you have to understand Daniel's name. Daniel means the judgment of El. All right? So the beginning of the story of Daniel start with these 3 dudes, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, in which they go, Nebuchadnezzar's people put them in the servitude, whatnot, and they throw him in the furnace, and the angel in there with him, and y'all know the story. Okay, so there's 3 dudes. So the judgment is what's actually taking place in the story of Hyrum. This is an extension of what the Kemetic priests call the holy drama. The holy drama is actually the story, or what we know as the myth of Osiris and Isis and Horus and Set. Okay, so now we got Solomon name that need to be decoded, or we went over it, so we're not going to go too much more in detail on the name. Of Solomon means the soul of the man, because we got to come back to Solomon as the man's soul when we understand the temple that Solomon was ordering build, the holy and the sacred shrine. So when we get to the holy and the sacred shrine, we're going to deal a little bit more with Solomon. And then we're going to go back to Hyrum's name. And and now we had Daniel's name, which means the judgment of El, which means God. Okay, so now in order to understand what they're talking about, the three ruffians, you have to understand that in the story that Hyrum gets clubbed in the throat, side the head, whatnot, bust his head, blood spill out over the checkerboard. So in order for somebody to understand how Hyrum will be raised, they have to first find the checkerboard. Then they would have to walk across the burning sands, meaning they would have to uncover the ruby glossed over floor of Set. It looks like it's buff red, but this is actually when the blood of Hyrum is spilled across the checkerboard floor. And you can't see the checkerboard floor anymore because you are no longer an initiate. Now you walking across the burning sands, the ruby red floor. It looks like blood red, crimson, but it's hard. So you're walking across this up into what is known as the king's chamber or the queen's chamber, which is between the two pillars. Now, all of this is your body. Ain't none of this externally outside of you. So when we're talking about raising Hyrum, you got to always remember when we're talking about erecting the temple, what we're talking about, which is going to be broke down when we go back to Solomon and the building of the temple. So now, in man, you have all of these things taking place in what they call the building of the temple. So when you, not to go too much into the Masonic doctrine, because I don't want to disrespect none of them brothers, but in there, they talk about the widow's son, which is another reference for Hyrum, and they talking about being raised in past, and they talk about the 32 degrees. And then you got the honorary 1 1/3. Now, all of these are relevant to the raising of Hyrum. And you got to keep in mind, the story is also the pyramid complex in Egypt. This is part of the raising of Hyrum, where you have your three ruffians or your three Orion pyramids, which from these three Orion pyramids, before that, you have something called the Sphinx. Now, here's the thing about the Sphinx. Everybody wanted to know the mystery of the Sphinx. The Sphinx was never a male. Now, the references for that is to go to the Greeks and look at the Sphinx. And everywhere you see, the majority of them are going to be female. What significance is this? This is necessary when we're talking about the master with the lion's paw, the master grip, because we got to raise Hyrum. Okay, so now, Hyrum is actually Hu Ram in Kemetic. Hu being the soul, Ram, R-A-M, or the ram. Okay, so now you start to understand that this is going directly to Baphomet, the Baphomet, or to go to Mendez, because it's talking about the ram. But don't be deceived, because the goat is not what you've been told. Because the goat is the Capricorn. And the Capricorn in the zodiac is the giver of abundance. So There's something here that we missing with this Baphomet that's been demonized before our face. And here's part of what it is. If you go back, just like we look at the Sphinx, you will see a ram, and looking like it's a procession of them in the complex. It's rows of rams. And these rams represents the deity Ra. Okay, so now you have Hu, which represents the divine breath of the soul, and then you got this ram. But what is the relevance of this? So this is where you get your name of Hyrum from. Now, everybody know that Hyrum is a master builder. So who are the master builders, or who is the master builder in Kemet or Egypt? Now we're talking about Ptah. Ptah being the supreme architect, the architect of the universe. So if Ptah can draw out the architecture of the universe, that means he know all of the dimensions. All of the dimensions. So in his other aspect is Khonsu, and he was the former of man. So now we start to see that this is not as mysterious as it was beginning to be in the minds of the people because of the deception. Okay, so now Hyrum means the soul in man, because the ram is representing of a male, because he have a male headdress, whereas the lion has a whole different representation, but you don't know that yet because of the deception. So how do we know what's going to take to raise Hyrum? We have to go over the legend of Hyrum. So they said that after these ruffians did all this, and later on, down the line sometime, that the master would come with the lion's paw and raise Hyrum with a master's grip. Okay, so what is this telling you? The lion's paw at this point tell me that this has to do something with either the Sphinx on the ground or the Leo in the sky, or both. Okay, so now in understanding decoding of religious doctrine, you have to know the stellar signs. So this is why they villainize astronomy and astrology, because if you can't read the stars, you will not know what you read in the books. Now, before we go any further, we're gonna be jumping all over the place. It's gonna be for a second. All right, excuse me for that. Okay, so we're going to be going through some mythologies, and I'm going to broad stroke over it just to get to y'all can understand how Hyrum is raised. Okay, so the Leo constellation or the Sphinx or both is necessary component for raising Hyrum. It's probably the most necessary component for raising Hyrum is the Sphinx. The next one would be the three ruffians would have to have a identity. They would have to be known. So then in order for the Leo or the Sphinx to raise Hyrum, then Hyrum would have to be able to identify who the three ruffians was, because he would have been there to see the three ruffians. He would have knew who they were. So now we got to resolve the lion issue with the lion's paw, and we have to resolve the three ruffians. We touched on the checkerboard, but I'm gonna tell you where it's at and how it applies to the ruby floor set and the walking of the burning sands in order to reach the temple, in order for Hyrum to be raised, because it's necessary component in raising Hyrum to know what that is, what it is telling you. Okay, now, so now we take these and we go over other prophecies and legends, and we start to match them up around the world, and they start to tell us a story. And this is why everybody has to think that they have the right religion or spiritual doctrine, because there's pieces to the puzzle in science, math, history, astrology, astronomy, all of it. Even philosophy, when they're talking about the Ein Sof, Sophia, the divine wisdom, the wisdom of the mother. Okay, so when we're looking for Hyrum to be raised, we have to be looking for Hyrum to be somebody who can understand all of those things. So Hyrum got to be able to identify the three ruffians, what took place, basically what happened. And so now, if Hyrum was raised, he would be able, hold on one second, y'all. If Hyrum is raised, Hyrum be able to tell you what it is all about. Okay, now, so the first thing Hyrum will tell you about the story of Solomon is it says that Solomon fell in love with a jinn. Now, that's very important. The name or the title of a jinn. So then you go through all of the demons. Now remember this, all of the demons that Hyrum or that Solomon is controlling. Now, if you look at the demons and look at what they do, these are not a physical form demon. These are birth defects. These are birth defects. So the first thing that if Hyrum was raised, he would be telling you is it's based on genetics. If he's telling you it's based on genetics, it's going to tell you that this is why all of the religions had their blood rights. Because the spilling of blood was necessary in order to bring the vibration down low enough for it to be enough anarchy in order to enforce Solomon's building of the temple. Now, when they go into the making of a man into a mason and they talk about knocking off all of the rough edges, and they're talking about polishing him up and allowing him to stand as a man, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about genetic cleansing. And this is what the staff on the serpent is. This is the DNA chain. The staff being the middle pillar. The DNA chain, the red and the blue. Now we're talking about what Du Bois called a warring soul. The conflicting bloodlines within the individual. These conflicting bloodlines. This is a mammal bloodline and a reptile bloodline. It's your Rh positive in conflict with your Rh negative. But in order for humans to live in harmony, they have to live mammalian. They can't live reptilian. And this is what the red and the blue conflict is all about. In the lodge colors as being the red lodge, the blue lodge. So now, when we're looking at Hyrum, he's going to tell you that all of these ones that Solomon was given control of. Now remember, Solomon means the soul of man, right? Hyrum is the one who's building is the one commissioned to build the temple of the soul of man. So if Hyrum is commissioned to build the temple of the soul of man, and everybody is waiting on this temple to be raised, because if you look in Israel, them fake Jews ain't waiting for Jesus, they waiting on Moses, because they under the impression that Moses is going to restore Israel and raise the temple, never knowing that Israel is also an Egyptian word, Isis, Ra, and El. This is all about judgment. So now it takes us back to the holy drama, or the war, or as they call it, between Horus, Set, and Osiris, where the son avenged the father. But that's not really what this is all about, because it's a little bit different. But Hyrum, being subdued, would know that the temple that he's building is a temple of man, within man, because Hyrum would know the blueprint. because he the one who has the designs. So if he know the blueprint, this is the first thing he's gonna tell you. When you analyze, or now you get your geneticists and scientists to analyze the demons that Solomon controlled, and you will realize that the majority of known birth defects are controlled by the demons that was under Solomon's control, which takes us back to the 200 fallen, because every one of those demons has what they call a frustrating angel. What angel frustrates you or complicates you, or what angel removes this affliction. So now we're talking about unraveling the DNA chain and pulling out the defect. So where did this whole conflict begin? How did we have to worry about fixing some genetics? And that goes back to Adam, the fake Adam, that is actually was a Gulam. And a Gulam is a Kabbalistic creation. The particular one that they called in the Kabbalah, the Adam Kadmon, was the false Adam. The Adama, which was the ruddy red man of the earth, that they called the wild man of the earth, that was not the Kadmon. The Kadmon had no melanin and had no means of processing higher intellectual function nor experiencing higher spiritual function. So he was a rain man. He was autistic. So this is why they trying to poison all these babies now. They trying to remind y'all what the punishment was about, the condemnation was all about. And so Hyrum would be able to tell you about the genetic mess that was made, or as Elijah Muhammad called it, Yaqub's grafted devil. Because Hyrum would know that Yaqub, being the underminer, was trying to overthrow somebody. Now the story is told as Cain killed Abel, Esau got undermined by Jacob, and Ishmael, who was about to be sacrificed in the place of his brother Isaac. Was about to get the birthright in the place of his brother Isaac, but then his mother had him kicked out the house. And so when Ishmael was going to be sacrificed to the Most High by Abraham, which means the heart of the black god. Ab is a Kemetic word, mean heart. Ra is that soul light, and the Chem is the black. So he wasn't originally Chem, meaning that it wasn't sealed with a chemical, the black chemical that they used to seal the heart chakra through the incarnations to keep you from experiencing that real powerful divine love, because we had to walk in a low vibrational frequency and function. And too much of the high energy, we would have woke up. We would have all woke up. So when Hyrum is raised, he'd be able to tell you about the genetic mess. And they call it Yaqub's grafted devil. And from this, they also are going to tell you about, and they're going to talk about Lucifer. Now, all of this is relevant to Hyrum, because the Lucifer in the Bible that they villainize as the fallen one in Isaiah is actually the one that they call the Christ in the New Testament. The son of the bright, or the bright morning star, as they call it in Revelations and Isaiah. The bright morning star is Venus. And so now it's starting to point in a direction. If the bright morning star that they call Lucifer is Venus, and Venus is a great female deity in historical record, then I'm going to take care of some business. Let me finish this and then I can come talk to you, okay? Okay. Okay, well, you just got to sit here and be quiet, okay? Okay. All right, so what would Hyrum know about the three ruffians? So I can get back to daddy duties, I'm gonna have to speed everything up, and I'm gonna have to brush stroke a little wider. So Hyrum would identify the three ruffians as being Enlil, Enki, and Anu. And Hyrum will also tell you that what you see as Nebuchadnezzar being condemned is actually Set defeating Osiris, because it's the judgment. That's the holy drama. And Hyrum would tell you that the sojourn of Nebuchadnezzar as the wild man. Now notice they got him eating grass because they want him to be depicted as a wild man, a goat. But remember, his kingdom was going to be restored to him. Okay, so now they got Hyrum in this tomb of sorts. He's locked in this sarcophagi. And where is this sarcophagi at? Now, when you look at the pyramid structure and the king and the queen chambers, the Great Pyramid has a deep shaft that goes into the water. And it goes all the way down, and then they find what they call the tomb of Osiris. And the tomb of Osiris is huge. But if you do what they call the orientation, which means the measurements of something in relation to something else, the orientation will tell you that the tomb of Osiris rests at the same orientation as the sacral chakra is from the crown chakra, or what they call the king's seat. And when you look at the king's chamber in the pyramid, you will see what is known as the king chamber in the brain. We know it to be your pineal gland. The queen chamber being your pituitary gland. Now, in the raising of Hyrum, you're going to need a Leo. You're going to need a Leo, and you're going to need a symbolic representation of the Great Pyramid Complex, which takes us to Paris. Now, how did we just get from Egypt and the Pyramid Complex to Paris? Because Paris is the city of the French. So you got to know your American history, because this is the land in which Hyrum is raised, right over here. And I'm going to show you how, and this is all necessary. And I'll go into more detail in another one later on called The Last Grail King, the Holy Grail, Spear of Destiny. That's another video for later. But Hyrum would send you straight to Paris. And then he would tell you, pay attention to the symbols, pay attention to the names. When you get to Paris, you'll realize that Paris has the Eiffel Tower, and Paris is called Par-Isis, which means the city of Isis. Like Parthodon means the city of Athena. And so the Par-Isis is the city of Isis. Who is Isis? Isis is the queen of heaven and earth. This is her stuff, right? So if Isis, being the queen of heaven and earth, has a city in France, we need to pay attention to that. Now, yesterday you seen the top of the Notre Dame building. You just don't know what you got, so you don't know how to recover what you already got. So you crying and bitching because you suffering because you don't got your own shit. Soon as you get your own shit, you can't suffer no more.
Exactly. And see, people want to make like, oh, the racism is just running so rapid in America. That's so quote unquote, it's prejudice. It ain't racist, it's prejudice. That's right.
Racism is a military structure. It's definite. Okay. It's a military application of a caste system.
Yes, a part of the caste system.
Right. But remember, the skin colors that they given us, black and white, are legal terms.
statuses.
Right. A free white person in law is a blackamoor, an attorney more.
But look, what people fail to realize, it ain't our skin color, because I've literally seen pale skins, baby, love the hell out of some Africans. It's who you are. They know
That's what
that
it boils down to.
Yeah, they know who you are, and they know that you, the indigenous people of America, is reason why they hate you so much. It ain't because of your skin color, because I'm literally telling y'all, over in Africa, it's not like it. They got the tallest damn Jesus you ever would see over in Africa. These people, I literally done had I work for Nigerians, and I literally, they'll be talking to me, and then when somebody come in, the pale skin, they'll forget all about you. I've seen them do it. So it's not about skin complexion at all. It is who we are. Can you expound on, because a lot of people want to say about the names that we have, that these came from Europeans. We are carrying the Slavics last name. And I clearly went and looked up these Slavic last name. I can't pronounce this shit over in Europe. Those people that's coming up out of you can't even pronounce that shit. So, and basically, like I was telling people, what they did was they gave us our last name. That was how they took the land, because they literally the biggest identity thieves there is on that's ever existed is them. They always talking about, protect your identity. How am I gonna protect my identity when you stole my identity? Mm-hmm. So, when people always talk about, now we got the slave master last name. What damn pale skin want you to have his last name? That was part of the Dawes role. They was taking down their last names and stuff.
Yeah. So let's take my last name, Hayes. Mm-hmm. So the European rendition of Hayes is not spelled Hayes. It's spelled Hays. Mm. It's an Irish name in Europe, but traditionally it was ascribed to the ones who grew hay. Mm. But when you get over here, remember the same thing with the word more. Yeah. Right? When you get over here, it's ES. It's Hayas. But we don't know our fucking shit. My last name is a Hayoka call turn. Oh. Right? So when you hear them saying, hey, that's they calling us.
I'm laughing because I be fucking with them damn natives. I said, that's all the hell they know. We gave that to you, including the damn flute. Hey, y'all.
So, the Cleveland Browns is named after a tribe that have the last name Brown.
Yeah.
But
that's one of my surnames. That's my granddaddy's surname.
Right. So why do they call them Browns? They call them Browns because the moccasins they wore was always brown, and they always had orange highlight. Hmm. Brown and orange is their traditional colors. Go back and look at the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns. I remember because my daughter's father used to wear the Cleveland Browns. They had that's when they was wearing those jackets back in the 80s. Yep.
So that's a big ass tribe. That's one of the biggest tribes in the Americas.
The Browns, the Browns.
Yeah, they used to stretch from the Ohio Valley all the way down into Tennessee, Kentucky,
this is where I met in Tennessee.
Yeah, and all the way down into Atlanta.
And now when I see pale skin with the last name Brown, I'm like, damn Brown, you need to go back and claim your damn shit. They're Hokenthorf and shit over there. Hogan watch.
But the reason why a lot of them carry your last name because they came to get their drop of blood, and they got their drop of blood from your clan. Mm-hmm. They telling us, but we don't know what the fuck they talking about. Right?
Oh, when they always talk about that one drop of blood, or if you don't have that one drop in you, that you're not such and such.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the one drop of blood rule is if you got one drop of our blood, you want us. Mm. And we got rules over
here. Are you guys looking at the chat? From
what's been said?
From Chief Sanal.
What's she say? I was caught up in this.
She said she's got a bad connection.
Oh, okay.
And she wanted us to announce the event July 22nd.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so she wants you to do that. Announce the and who's going to be the special guests and stuff.
Okay, I might go over here to our chat, Chief, because I don't know everybody by heart. If anybody, you know, this is welcome for everybody that's in the chat, and you know, come down to the event for the Green Corn Fest with Chief Sunal, the Truman Tapatulas. They have an Corn Fest, so it's a 3-day event. First day is meet and greet, and then we have the gala that they have on that. I want to say it's that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
It's on July 22nd.
Yeah, 23rd. Okay, yeah.
And 24th. Aborigine Business and Trade Forum, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Friday. Yeah. Aborigine Indians Deck to the Nines night at 8 p.m. Saturday. And then our Green Corn Festival, Sunday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And it says special guests, GINDJAB,
Bricks, yes.
Chief Callie, and Cyril Neville.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Look, corn is a sacred food for us. This is why you got so many different types of corn and for different types of festivals.
Okay.
Right. So you got that like the ruby corn.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you have a congregation of different chiefs from different clans, you don't want to use the solid color gold coin because you want to represent everybody there. So you get those ruby colored corns with multiple colors in them.
Oh,
they call it Indian corn. It's just corn. It's just maize to us.
Yeah, maize.
Right. So we used to pull the stalk back and boil the corn, and we would use the stalk like a popsicle stick to eat the corn.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to Big Mama house. She always had a bucket of chicken with a towel over it on her kitchen counter.
Yeah.
And she had one with cornbread next to it. So when you come over to visit, she could feed whoever come in. She could give them a snack out the gate.
Everybody. I mean, that was how my grandma fed everybody.
That was the culture. That's our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this? They came up here. Who is this? I don't remember sharing. Did you share the did anybody share the what you call it with? Who are you, my brother?
Greetings. I got the invitation, so I joined in. Calipuna from the corporation called Trinidad.
Oh, Trinidad. Okay. Did somebody put the link in the chat? Because I'm trying to figure out how he got the link.
I am happy to be here.
Oh, okay.
Am I invited? Am I on?
This is a special. I don't know how you got the link because I just
no problem. If I have to leave, I will leave. No problem. I'll get it some other time.
You're welcome to stay in the chat, but this was just a special bill. Yeah, I know you're our brothers and sisters over in Trinidad. I do know that. But yeah, this is a special bill with clan mother Mimi and the brother Ron Hayes. So yes.
Yeah, that is why I got in because of Ron.
Okay.
I follow him all the time.
Oh.
I look for him. I look for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me just put a show.
You're welcome to stay in the chat because this is their bill, and you know, hey, we know who Trinidad is. That we know who they are as well. You know, a lot of people don't like to claim the little islands, but those are people's too. So
that's our land too.
Yep.
Yeah, we have an indigenous tribe here, and we are just waiting. We are making numbers. Pardon me?
Y'all waiting on the mainland to wake up?
Yes. We are waiting on the Three Kings to walk the land, and we are waiting on the matriarch, and we are ready to blow this place up. We are waiting.
That's what's up. That is what's up.
We are on the radio. We are making waves on the radio. telling the people every day what's going on. And we are not afraid. We are waiting.
I'm glad to hear that you know, and that's what I hear from everybody. They waiting on us to wake up.
I've been telling people they think I just be talking. But now you got somebody from the island telling you. You know what we used to do at the islands? This is what you used to do at the islands. Let's say Mimi send me to go meet with the matriarch on the island. She gonna send her all kind of gifts of stuff that they can't get on that island.
Yeah.
When we get down there, we go give everything to the big mama on the island.
Okay.
And then that's
the thing. Come bearing gifts.
Yeah.
That's a peace offering. That's like a peace offering.
So what she do is she have a team that's responsible for our hospitality while we visiting.
Oh, okay.
But when we leave, she gonna send me gifts from the island that she can't get on the mainland.
That's what's up.
All right.
We need to hurry up and do these Mimi like gifts.
We are waiting. We are waiting. We are just
so
ready.
What's the name of the tribe that's there that you speaking of? What's the in Trinidad?
Trinidad, here we don't say Trinidad, you know. We say Kyrie. Kyrie is the indigenous thing. Trinidad is the corporation name.
Okay.
Trinidad and Tobago is the corporation. The land is Kyrie. Kairi.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are the tribe is Kyrie indigenous. Yeah, Kyrie indigenous clan.
Okay.
Yeah. Down here we had only about 2 tribes, the Carib and the Arawak. Yeah. We hadn't much tribes down here. A mixture.
Yeah.
Beautiful land. People are very here we got the carnival from the calypsos and the steel pan originated here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
we like Brother Hayes.
Keep waking them up, and we finna keep on trying to wake our people up here.
We are doing the same down here.
That's good. Yes, that's beautiful.
But you know, not only are we going to have a huge wake up wave, we all all of America is going to unite against the beast. Yes. All of that, I see that coming because we are the same blood. We're the same root. We're the same. I mean, the wake up call is for all of America to come forward. We're just, they separate us with all these fake ass lines.
Yes,
but they can't separate us from our blood tie and our minds tie, our universal thing. All of that is that that's why the brother broke in, because it was just time.
Yes,
it was time for us to have this conversation with him.
Yes, because we ain't had no conversation with nobody from the islands besides my brothers and sisters that's over in Jamaica. I was building with them. That was my first matriarch group, was called the Silent Warriors, and all our builds that we did with them, they took them down because we was really ready to fuck up some people.
Yeah, they're ready. Those women over there, they're a lot of them, the ones who know who they are and know who we are, they're ready. They're ready to unite.
Yes.
We have the sisters here, the women here. They are ready. They are ready.
Yeah.
We are ready.
But the sad part is, our people here on the mainland ain't fed up yet. They don't. How can I put it? We're fed up. Because we want to see these babies survive even when we gone. When we transition to the ancestral realm, I'm going to still be kicking ass over there. I'm coming back. I already told my ancestors, you're going to let me come back in because I'm going to be smothering some of these motherfuckers in their sleep.
That's what Nana Woo told me. She said,
yes. That's how hard is that.
Nana Woo would say, hold on. I can't do I done did everything I can down here. Let me go up there and go. I can do better up there.
When I tell you, before she transitioned, it takes Chief Son. I wish she could talk. How she kept saying, we ain't got to worry about nothing. She said, I got them. And if y'all would have been at her homegoing, when I tell y'all the stuff that was on her video that she recorded, and there was some pale skins in there, she was telling them take their ass back home because that's what they like.
Yeah.
I was in there, I was crying, but I was tickled to death, y'all, because I was like, even while she done transition, still talking her shit, and I loved it.
Oh, Nana Woo ain't for no games.
Nope.
I had got into it with somebody. It will. How the fuck I'm gonna give her all the respect in the world? Then you gonna come to me and then disrespect somebody I respect? I'm not buying that shit.
That sound like a...
Y'all got me fucked up.
Yeah. That's her.
As I told her, I was like, Nana Woo, don't even worry. I got her. She in the crosshairs. She don't even know.
And what she told us, because we was beefing for a minute with some of these people on YouTube. She said, y'all ain't got to worry about a thing. I got them. I miss Nana Woo Woo too.
Yeah, me too.
But
we will,
go ahead.
Yeah, we will take this place. The corporation here already. We have already announced it to them. The corporation is already over.
It's over.
It's over.
See,
it's over.
When the Negroes in America on the mainland say this, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we are. We're beginning to walk out of it.
Yeah, but most of us still have the same fear. Most of us fear that if we walk off our job, we won't be able to support our life.
And they wanted it to be that way. That's why they made it where you can't live without them. But we're learning slowly to live without them. Our nation, that's all we talk about is how soon can we get away from those motherfuckers?
Yeah. Well, I don't need them because I can live
off shit, all of it.
Look,
every fucking document they ever, birth certificate, driver's license, marriage license, poodle license.
Yes.
I don't need them. I know how to live off the fat of the land. You can drop me off anywhere on this motherfucker, and I'm gonna live off the fat of the land. You can drop me in the desert. I'm gonna come out that motherfucker with a cactus motherfucking jumpsuit on. You drop me in the jungle, I'm gonna come out that bitch with some gators on my feet and a motherfucking monkey pelt on my back. I'm not bullshitting. I can know how to live off the land for real.
Mm-hmm.
We already planned.
That's offer.
We already plant our own food. I grow my own. We are ready. We plant our own food. Mm-hmm. We grow our own food. We eat. We drive without license. We take no part. We have to live. We do not wear any face mask, period.
And that's what I don't either. I don't either. I be walking past people looking like they damn crazy.
Look, my mama taught me how to garden when I was a baby. Now, that's just second nature to me.
I didn't, but my grandma, my granddaddy did. That's what they done. Yeah. But we wasn't that. I was born in 71, so I basically came up in the late 70s and 80s. And by the time I reached teenage years, they had got old because like I said, my granddaddy was 20 years older than my grandmother, so. He wasn't doing it anymore. Then they had to wind up moving in with my auntie. So they'd already took my granddaddy. You was talking about the Browns being one of the largest clans. My granddaddy and them owned a lot of land here. And I've been trying to find, we knew what area, we just don't know where at. Look, and after all those rich country music singers in. And it was called Brown Station.
Look, what we don't know is our big mamas from all over the land, they took her ledgers, her big mama's book of life. Every big mama had one. They got that shit on lock and key in caves.
Up at the underground, and on the side of the mountain in those caves, they said they have all the native records, which we know who they talking about, because those are the Johnny Come Latelys. If anybody records you got, it's ours.
Yep. All of those records go back, way back, like Egyptian back. But they don't want you to see it, but it's too late.
I'm glad you brought up the Egyptian. Now, when you look at the walls of Egypt, They have corn. They even have the wolf dog, the dog that we were just speaking of on the on their
Anubis.
Yeah. So why would they have all? They got the eagle on their wall.
All that stuff come from over here because the pyramid complex, that was Hollywood to us. That wasn't no sacred site. That was Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just now Hollywood over here in a different place.
Yeah.
But all of that shit over there is just so that when we wake up, we can get the keys.
Mm-hmm.
The same way we can look at the movie Panther and we can see T'Challa's movement and match him up to Tupac.
Oh, yeah. And he was named, so, okay, his mother named him after the emperor, what's his name? Tupac is the name of Tupac is in it.
Tupac Amaru.
I wonder was he part of that bloodline is the reason why his mama named him after that.
Now, I can't prove what I'm about to tell you, but it's a ritual that the mothers used to do in the community. Based off the time frame that you changed his name, it seems to be accurate. So when the baby is born and you want to know which ancestor it is, right? Every day in the morning when they wake up, you whisper in their ear, what's your name? And normally around the 9th or 10th month, the baby will say their name clear as day.
Wow.
And I believe that's why she changed his name, because he finally told her what his real name was.
Because he was coming back as the emperor that was, but they said he was whooping ass. That emperor was whooping ass.
Yep. He was a bad motherfucker.
Wow. You really, really learned a lot. I wonder which one of my ancestors, because I've been fighting like you know, when I was young, I think my mom used to say, you fight breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And she said, you go to bed fighting, you get up fighting. I used to fight 2 or 3 people at a time. My friend told my daughter that because we have a gathering here every year.
You a Leo?
Projects. I'm a Pisces. I like to say, like, I always stood up for the underdog. That's what I tell people. I stand up for the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I never knew why. I've always got mad when I used to see people bullying people. I used to get mad and be ready. I throw myself in that fight knowing it didn't have nothing to do with me. But I would wind up fighting somebody because I hated to see people sit there bully somebody that wasn't bothering them. And you could clearly see that people don't want to fight you, but you bullying them. So I will always be somewhere fighting. And my friend, she said, you remember that time? This was just last weekend. Told my daughter, she said, you tell your daughter about that time you were fighting like 4 girls and you were just whooping ass. I said, yeah, I remember.
So
it would literally take a gang of them to fight me.
Yeah, we normally get the reputation of bully beaters.
Yeah, she's an house, Leo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's texting and her having a conversation with us by text.
Oh, okay.
So I'm giving you what she said. She's chiming in here and there.
Okay.
I want to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask Rod this question. I always wanted to ask him this since I started seeing him. Each time I dream my mom was my favorite person. Still is. Each time I talk about her, I feel my paws raise. But each time I dream her, she always know what I'm thinking.
So I'm going to tell it to you like my mama told me when I was growing up. And we ain't know what the fuck mama was talking about. But she say, check your mind, because I'm going to be with you all the time.
Mm.
The psychic connection to our mothers is tied directly to our heart chakra.
And you're not lying. Because I can always feel like when my mom is sick, she won't tell me, but I know.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Mama, I said, how you feeling today?
She said, you know how it is, baby.
Mm-hmm. I'd be like, nah. I said, you'll tell me anything. But I get my ancestors, and then that's what I do. My ancestors come to me in my Stephen. I kept saying, I said, well, during my daddy been gone 5 years. His birthday was just Sunday. And he be gone 5 years this coming December the 17th. And I kept saying a while back, I said, well, Dad ain't came to see me in my sleep. And sure enough, within that week, he came to see me. And I hated that I woke up so fast because I was so excited to see him. And he bust out laughing. He said, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. Because I knew then he was telling me he was okay.
Look, I was walking back from my meditation spot. And my old dude, he was dying laughing because people had, everybody that thought they had the upper hand on me, I was 10 steps ahead of them, but they never knew it. So my father came through, he dying laughing. He laughing so hard, he was like, boy, where did you get that from? So I say, Pops, you don't remember what you told me? And he was like, what'd I tell you? When you and Uncle Hollis was fixing the truck, and Uncle Hollis was able to break that bolt on the truck with the wrench. And I asked you if Uncle Hollis was stronger than you. You said, that's not strength, son. That's knowledge. I said, what you mean? You said knowledge is the real power. What you know makes the difference. And he just bust out laughing. That tickled him so bad. He said, you remember that? What? You remember that? I was like, yeah, Pops, I remember it like it was yesterday. Right? He said, what else you remember? I said, you remember when you was in the garage, you was barbecuing, you and your buddies was standing there drinking, and you said, man, always move straight. You said, man, don't do all that old wishy-washy back and forth. A man,
and that's a fact. Right? It goes to about what I'm talking about with the young men today, that we're raising beta males. Men that they don't have no, it's like soon something's popping up, there they go. I wasn't used to that coming up in my era. I didn't see that. And now that I see it, when I came to the internet over here, I see it a lot. And I wasn't, you'll see us arguing because we're catty. But man, I didn't see that coming up. And it kind of
I didn't either.
Yeah, and I look at them sideways, I'm like, where is that coming from?
Well, the way I look at it, me personally, I'm not finna argue with no man, because if we finna argue, that means that's the prelude to the fight. So I might as well go straight to the fight part.
That's me. I never let it, when I know once it's gonna go into an argument, I'm ready to hit you. So we can bypass the argument, I'm finna go on and hit you so we can go on and get popped off.
And when it comes to arguing with a woman, I can't argue with a woman. I'm not a woman.
No man can really argue with a woman.
Listen. I tell it like this.
Not if he got good sense, he already know he lost. Even if he lost.
I can't argue with a woman because I'm not a woman. That'd be
there you go.
That'd be effeminizing me. What I look like standing toe to toe, going back and forth with a woman. That's my personal philosophy.
Like you say, a man that goes straight, soon you get ready to start, he gonna be like, and go on about his business. Because he don't want to hit. He already know he ain't gonna win the fight. You're a woman, and that's what we do. So he just gonna keep it moving. I'm finna go here and sit up on the tree.
It's Monday. I'll be back Friday when you calm down.
Yeah, that part. Oh, that is so true. They just don't know. We got to do better as mothers.
So when my mother, the old saying is a boy always marry his mama, but don't nobody know what that shit mean. Right? But it means the female whose love for you match the love that your mama had. That's unconditional love.
Yes.
Then your mama
told me, you find a man that disrespect his mother, he ain't nothing but a pair of britches. Get the fuck away from him.
Yeah.
So when the woman love and the mother love match, they talk to each other through you. You don't even know. They talking to each other in your face, behind your back, without your knowledge.
Yep.
But when you wake up to what's going on, you're gonna see it in retrospect and be like, "Lo and fucking behold, they've been talking to me, about me, to me, in my face, talking to each other through me, and I didn't even know it."
Yep. And that's so true. We got to really do better as mothers, and as I can speak for myself, you can speak for the men, raising our babies, because the way of the world, they're training their babies. They're training their babies to be warriors. We always training our babies to work, and because it's all about survival of the fittest. Until we know self-preservation, we're gonna forever lose the war.
Yeah, we have lost that.